Oh, I'm live. Am I late? I'm late. 1 2 1 2 testing. Thank you, Whip. I just couldn't start without my coffee. I had to run up super quick. It was 3 minutes before. I thought for sure it wouldn't take more than 3 minutes, but it took four. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. Let's do an audio video check because I'm always having problems with this. You know how it goes.
Hey everybody, it's Susie Q and I'm here to show you just what I do. I have a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q and I'm here to show you just what I do. I got a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q and I'm here to show you just what I do. I have a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q. Nah, hey everybody, it's Susie Q, so come along with me. Said I'm Susie Q.
How'd that work out? Oh, I can't wait to see if that worked out. Oh, let's see if I can read the chat. My eyes are getting worse. I keep saying I gotta get glasses. Whip's World, thank you for testing. Hey, Susie, Uncle Smiley's in the house. Oh, good, it sounds good. But I am deaf and blind, so that needs to be taken into consideration. You are so funny. You are good. I saw. Did someone just flash across my screen? I think I saw a video from Rachel. I did not see it yet because I slept all day. Can you tell the way I look? But I think I saw a video from Rachel. I can't wait to see. I hope everything's awesome. Ooh-wee. One of my favorite YouTubers, Rachel. Oh, UV's good for me. Good, good, good. Thank you so much. Let me tell you, I love my animals, but when one of them is sick, it's devastating. And when they're not, like I can't be like, it's like, do I sit in this room? No, because now I got 3 rooms. I kind of miss when I just had the one room. I had like 28 tanks in it, and I had one chair in it and lots of space. I think the space is what's doing it. Just sitting here crumped like this. And I got a tiny, tiny chair. I like sitting in a Susie chair. Like, I could sit here for hours. You got to tell me if you do that, or am I crazy? I know I'm not crazy, especially like this knife fish, just for hours. And I really, really would like someday to get the 2 tritons together, but yeah, but I did spend a little time outdoors. Can't wait to tell you about that. She has put out several videos lately. Oh, I have to check it out. I'm not real big on social media these days, but I'm going to check it out. I hope everything's good with her. Her one daughter looks a lot like her. Looks just like her. All right, I don't think I need this. I'm going to keep this chat up just in case I need it on my phone. But I can kind of see it if I focus, a little bit. You know what I think it is? I started doing the crossword puzzles, or I should say the cryptogram puzzles on my phone instead of a book. I think my eyes are getting worse because of the phone. Like, I think that's a thing. If not, it's a thing for me. It's a thing for me. Yep. And then I was feeding the mud skippers earlier. Their water looks really good. I don't know what happened. It goes through these phases. Sometimes it's because it's like a salt water. I'm lost. Hello, Paul. And sometimes it gets like it looks like foggy, but it's not foggy. It's just the hardness of the water, or maybe it's the salt in it. But it's been looking really good for the last couple of weeks. And that makes me happy. They are doing good. The mud skippers. Skipper. My first mud skipper I've had for years. His name is Skipper. The second one gets a different name every time I talk about him, so I don't think I really named the second one. They're my mud skippers. And that one's name is Skipper. But anyway, I took 2 of the baby cherry head tortoises upstairs and then realized I can't take them outside yet because it's just too dang cold at night. It's nice during the day, and I think I'm going to take my big tortoises outside now. I'm going to take them out front where there's lots of grass, and I'll just sit out there with them because they're easy enough to watch, or I'll pull out like a dog fencing. Is this light too bright? Is this light too... This little light of mine. No, that's good. There's Bob. Thank you, Bob. I'm right here. I was a little late. Oh my gosh. What happened last week, okay? It was horrible. And I don't know if I should say that it was horrible. I don't want to discourage people. It was so horrible. So I had jury duty, which I look at it like it's an honor. It's a service to my country. I'm cool with that. I don't try to get out of it. I don't try to get into it. I'm just honest. And like the last time I was there was about 5 years ago. They were talking about medical stuff. I was honest how I feel about the medical. You know, I didn't get picked, blah, 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 blah. I got picked this time, guys. And it was a criminal case. And all I can say is it was horrific. Not all, because now the trial's over. The man was found guilty. But I had to sit through a criminal case that I never would want to fill my mind with. And I know it's like an honor and a duty as a citizen to do this. But I will never, ever sit on. It was a child rape case. I will never sit in on a case like that ever again. I will tell the judge I can't do it. Half the time while we were sequestered, I was crying like a loon. But I wasn't the only one. There was other people there. It was just horrific. It's horrific that I just don't know. I don't know. It put me in such a spin, emotionally, spiritually, and what made it even harder, I had to say the words, I wasn't the foreman, but we all had to say guilty. Like after it was over, we went through one by one, and it was just horrible. Yeah, the verdict is in. The verdict is in, and it was horrible. And then it was in the paper the next day, which brought it all. And the picture they used in the paper is not the same man I saw sitting in the courtroom, man. It was like, dang, night and day. Night and day. It was horrible. There's no other words. Because I don't know a lot about the court system and how it works and the what do you call it? The sentencing, not sentencing. The different levels of depravity, the different levels of you're guilty of this, but not this. This is what you're guilty of, this and this. This is when you only did this, and this is what, like that tier system. And we had to go through, I think there was like 8 levels, line by line. It was horrible. He'll be worms in 6 months. Good. I'm okay. But I don't, see what I mean? Like, I've worked very hard and not judging people. I judge people to the extent of whether or not I want that kind of toxicity in my life. If you want to be like that, go do it. Go do it. I remember the first time when I first got sober, some of my friends were like swapping price tags and stuff. And I'm learning how to be like honest. I'm like, I can't do that stuff anymore. And they were like making fun of me and come on, where did that? I was like, I can't do that anymore. I'm not judging them. I can't do that anymore in my life. That's over. Like, all those bad behaviors are over. Obviously not all, if you know what I mean. Oh, it was horrible. And this was somebody she called dad, even though it was like a stepdad. She was 11, the oldest of 5. So it was chaotic family, chaotic. But a lot of my friends, a lot of people I know live in a very chaotic dysfunction. I don't know who doesn't live in dysfunction. I don't actually know too many people who don't live in dysfunction. And if they don't, I just assume they do, but they hide it well. It was not pled out, and the person actually spoke for himself, which gave, like, and now you're sitting here listening to stuff and you get conflicting things. Why didn't this lawyer say that's not what, like, why wasn't all these conflicting things, like, addressed? Like, you said this and she said that, like, but I guess it came down to he said, she said. And in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, if you believe the victim's testimony, then it's guilty. You don't have to figure out which parts. If you believe, and the judge kept saying that and over, and I'm like, so you're telling me that's not the same in every state? Like, I was just blown away. I guess it's not the same in every state. I was sick to my stomach. It ruined my week. I hope it ruined his life. And I know I'm making it sound like it's about me, and the trial's not about me at all, but it was about her and her family and moving, you know. I'm only talking about me because that's all I have here. That's all I know is how it affected me. And I'm like, I don't know if I could go through that again. I don't know if I could go through that again. Like a criminal case. Like, when they said criminal case, I was like, ooh, like bank robbery. Like, and my mind never went there. Oh. But I don't know. It was, and then I had a very hard, it was just a very hard week all along. But I'm here. Alice Jan saying hi to everybody. I'm a little upset, but I can't wait to hear our speaker for this Bucks County Aquarium Society. There's a little mix up with the speakers. So Jen Williams is not coming this month. It goes holler by holler. No. Yeah, you know, you can't recover from that. That's somebody you call dad. Nope. Yeah, jury duty, Larry. I was picked for the trial. So I was a juror. I was juror number 6. But aside from that whole disgustingness, that makes me want to vomit in my mouth when I think about it. The process was mind-blowing. I had never seen the judicial process in such detail, like what we went through. First of all, when they said, all rise for the jury, I didn't know people rose for the jury. So I was like, whoa, this is pretty good. Pretty cool, you know? And then we had to raise our hand. And I noticed when you raise your hand and sort of tell the truth, there's a Bible over there. Nobody was told to put their hand on the Bible. But the officers of the court, the police officers, and the court, like all the federal people, state people, all put their hand on the Bible automatically. And I thought that was interesting. No, he did not murder her. She was a wreck. And then she's 18 now. And they kept saying, like, you cannot judge whether or not why she never said anything for 7 years. I'm like, you don't have to tell me that more than once. I get it. Nope. But there was someone on the juror that was like, why'd you wait so long? And I'm like, no. That's not what the judge said. The judge lady said, you cannot take that into consideration because it's traumatic. It's trauma. No, he did not murder her. Oh my God, I don't even, I could never sit on a murder trial. No. I would have to, no. I would have to find a way, no. It was just not up my alley. There's things up my alley. That's not in my wheelhouse. I was truthful. I was honest. I was opinionated. I tried to give, because this was mind-blowing, that the judge said you have to believe that the man is innocent. Obviously, before he was proven guilty, you can say those words. But I know almost all of us were like, no, guilty. We didn't even hear anything yet. So I know if it wasn't just me that was thinking that. So what I did is I put my ex-husband in that seat, who was a jackass, whatever, controlling, but he was not that, ever, ever, ever. So I thought, okay, you can be an a-hole and not destroy children's lives like that. So I put him in that to try, because I couldn't get it out of my mind that I thought he was guilty without hearing one thing about anything. Not even hearing her testimony. It was just so hard. It was so hard for trying to come to terms just being human. Like, I could say one thing, but it doesn't mean I feel it in my heart. You know what I mean? I'm going to cry. It was so hard, guys. I just read about it, and it was so disgusting, Shan. It was so disgusting. The guy with the piercing through his nose. I can't even. And those are images, thoughts, words, pictures I can never not see. Ever. And that's times 1,000 for that child. Times 1,000. And I've never been called, ooh, and however they get you there, I'm vindictive towards certain crimes. Oh, yeah, you just be on. They ask you that. They ask you that straight up. Oh my God, there was this one girl. Oh my God. You know, they ask you, do you have any police friends? Do you think a police is automatically telling the truth? You know, some of the jurors stood up. I didn't. Police are just human. And then they said, do you believe the police are always lying? And I thought, oh, that's funny. Someone stood up. I was like, whoa, she's not getting picked. But she was honest. Yeah, he didn't look like that, Alishan, in the courtroom. He didn't have that nose ring in. He had a beard. He was suited. He didn't look like that. And he didn't have to testify, and he chose to. Which kind of make me feel like when that happened, like, what if he's innocent? What if he didn't do it? Because there's people saying, well, people aren't just going to make that kind of stuff up. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. I know a handful of girls in all different parts of my 65 years of life that have made disgusting things like that up to get out of a grade, to get out of this, like, but not even understanding the impact when you're a small child on, oh, it's devastating to the, so I did have that in the back of my head, well, what if he's innocent? What if she's making it up? Because, you know, when you're in that kind of dysfunction, things, you don't act like a regular kid. You don't eat like a regular kid. You don't talk like a regular kid. I don't know. I just had to do the best I could. This is 7 years later, so I don't know. They didn't talk about that. They didn't talk about, and there were things they alluded to that in my mind, my initial mind, well, that's a shadow of a doubt. Like, he just came into a large sum of money from a workers' comp case injury or something. Like, was it for that? And the one lawyer alluded to it, but never brought it up again. So I'm like, okay, if they really thought there was a connection there, I think somebody would have said that more. That was just my mind. You know, oh, it was so horrible. So horrible. But then I came home to my fish room and my outside ponds and to what I would call my bubble, my reality, my happy place. And it's been a struggle. It's been a struggle, but that's why I say I probably would never do that again. It was too hard to recover from. But then again, I'm not going to get picked for 3 years. I'm already 65. Are they going to pick old people? I don't know. Do they? I guess 65 is old anyway. It is old, isn't it? So I had something funny happen out in the yard, in my pond. So I have a 150-gallon pond that sits against one of the tortoise enclosures that's where I grew my plants last year. I cultivated plants. I've got a little tarp over top of all, like a mesh tarp over 1/3 of my backyard, honestly, because it gets full sun 24/7 and the water turns green and stays green if I don't, which is good for the fish, but I like to see my turtles and fish. So we had really bad windstorms, and the tarp came loose and is hanging down. Parts of it is still attached with zip ties, so I have to go out there and cut it down and start all over again, which is fine. But in the meantime, I pushed it back so it's now acting like a door curtain, but it's right next to that pond that has 150 gallons of water in it. It's clean, it's working. Water, like that was one of the first ponds I got going. I went out there to feed the chickens today, and that pond was like almost dry. It was like had a 1/4 inch of water on the bottom. I'm thinking, is there a leak? Oh my God. Like, there's a Rubbermaid tub. I'm not ready for leaks. Yeah, they do play on the mind. So, I'm looking around. The mesh cover, just a corner of it was sitting in the tub. And just that corner of the mesh tarp that was sitting in the tub, this 150-gallon tub filled with water, was enough to wick water out. It wicked it out through the cloth over this, like drip by drip, drop by drop. I was blown away. I was blown away that that whole tub can be emptied by wicking. And now I'm looking at some of my hang-in-the-back filters that I know sometimes that floss, because I sometimes change the floss really quick, is sticking over. It acts as a wicking agent. And I can usually tell because that next night or the next morning, I can hear it's low on, like I hear, like it's 2 inches low already. I'm like, and it's not there's nothing wrong with the tank. There's something wicking it out. But to see that pond get so drained, I was like, what? Norfolk Southern Vlogs, hello. Norfolk, oh. Yeah, they play in the mind. Remember the two sisters lied about the lady next door and started Salem witch hunts. Exactly. I know. Hello, Bruiser. So I know it happens. I know it happens. But keep in mind now, I got on this healthy food plan April 1st. Still on it. What, 13 days? 13 days, man. 13 days of eating healthy. Just protein and vegetables. I do have 4 condiments like olive oil, coconut oil, avocado. It's a fruit that I let in, and something else. Butter. So, but aside from that, it's just meat and vegetables. That's it. I know, like, trying to stay away from anything and everything processed. I'm really trying to get healthy. Ooh, someone said, hey, John. QueAquatics is in the house. Diego's in the house. Hello, Bruiser. Hello. So, there's QueAquatics. Oh, he was saying hi to everyone. Just making sure that wasn't a question. That was a big, long hi to everybody, So it's really hard staying, I call it abstinent. Abstinent from processed foods. I'm 13 days abstinent from processed foods. And I almost lost it last week. Because not only, everybody went to the diner, the jury went out for lunch. I packed my lunch, had my lunch there, didn't care. And then when we were sequestered, they let us order. Now, I got a thing for free food, man. I got a thing for free food. I don't know how else to say it. Even though I had my food that I packed, I have a thing for free food. So I was able to order a burger and took off the bun. But I was like, it weighed on me. And I've gone to 3 meetings, AA meetings and OA meetings since then, because it shook me right down to my core, right down to my spirit, right down to my soul. How can one human do that to another? How can somebody destroy? So I won't keep talking about it. I can't keep talking about it. Yeah, but yeah. I feel great. I've lost 15 pounds already. I'm not going to be counting all 100 pounds. But my end goal is 100. As long as I keep going in that direction, I'm not going to worry about my size. I'm not going to worry about what I look like. Trying to work on my body image, but I've been doing that my whole life. I've never been successful with that one. In order to be bioengineered, would that be processed? I think that would be processed, right? Yeah, the foods I'm eating is just one ingredient. It's broccoli. Or it's meat. Like whatever the meat or the egg, the protein, whatever the meat is. I'm trying to stay away from things like sausage, hot dogs, things that get ground up, because I don't think they're honest about everything they put in there. And I'm trying to stick with meat that's from the local farmers. Like you get that meat. So yeah, I am staying away. There's no ingredient listing on the things I'm eating because it's just one ingredient. Although the things that came, like the raw cashews that came in, it did say ingredients. Cashew. Okay. It had an ingredient. There was one. So that was good. A hamburger with no bun is just a steak. Yep. Absolutely. A steak that's already been chewed for you. So people with dentures, sometimes you get the best ground steak. I think one of our steakhouses has, one of their burgers is really ground steak. That's my favorite burger. Because it's like steak that's easy to chew. Yeah, no bioengineered. I know they keep changing that word. You're less hungry. Well, I don't know if I'm less hungry, but I'm not craving. I don't have that Jones and like feeling like I gotta have, gotta get, gotta do. And I did have that once, like on the 5th or 6th day, and it was a hot dogs that I ate. I could have eaten a whole package of those hot dogs. They were so good. And I thought, note to self, hot dogs come off the list. I'll choose better proteins moving forward. So, no bioengineered, and I'm sure they're going to change that name to something else. I'm just eating protein and vegetables right now. Am I ever going to introduce fruit back in? I don't know. I'm going to take it like a baby with an allergy. Like, once I've done this for like a month and feel the results, then I'll try just one kind of food and see if that works. And if anything, it might be berries. Nothing but berries, but I'm not there yet, so I don't even want to talk about that. Granny had a little sausage business. The population exploded when she passed. It took me a minute, Rob. Whew. That took me a minute. But I am finding it easy. Like, I can't wait to get the grill going. I'll just throw it on the grill. Right now I'm throwing it on my griddle. I'm pan frying the meat and either roasting the vegetables, like with a little bit of oil. Or I put a little bit of coconut oil. You can't really taste the coconut, and then roast the vegetables for 45 minutes. It's like, wow. This is like a full-blown, this is good. This is good. I can't afford the stuff from the organic farms, but I'm on the same foods plan. Meat and vegetable. That's it. Yep. Well, we have a great Amish market. We have a great Amish market right down the road in Bristol. And I trust their meat. I trust their meat. And it's funny because John's not on the same food intake I am. And he eats a lot. So if I'm eating my portioned meat, well, I don't honestly have any portions yet. That'll come down the road. But I'm eating a burger. If I eat a full burger, which is probably about a half a pound, quarter pound, no, half a pound. A half a pound of beef. I make that with like broccoli and squash or whatever vegetables I have. And John would eat like 3 of them. And he doesn't, so he has other kinds of foods that he's eating. But I am not. I am not. And he did say today that he was willing, and trying to get vegetables in for breakfast is hard, so I just drink a green drink. It's like my vitamin drink. It's vitamins and greenery. It's all greenery. But I feel like this is a plan of eating that I can live with that doesn't restrict anything. Now that I'm on it, I don't feel restricted at all. If you had told me this is what I was going to be on before I was willing to be on it, I would have cried about the fruit. I would have cried about the fruit. But I think my fruit was getting way out of control. Now keep in mind, it's been 30 years since I've had anything with added sugar. 30 years. So for me, eating something sweet is having some bananas, especially the overripe bananas, like grapes, apples. Like there's a lot of I'm not a fan of stevia, and I don't do the chemical sweeteners anymore. So it was like fruit was my candy, my sweets, and I just trying not to be diabetic, because what Bob said it was about a month or so ago, like a pickle, once you're diabetic you can't go back. You can just keep it at bay, you can keep it at regular levels, but you're always a diabetic. So I don't ever want to it's like being an alcoholic. If you once you're an alcoholic and then decide not to drink, you're still an alcoholic, you just don't drink. You know, I think it's probably the same as what he was saying. Like, you're still a diabetic, your just sugars are okay. I'm just trying to keep my body okay. Trying to treat, a little late to the game here, in my 7th decade of life. And I am skating every day again. And it gives me such joy to either skate around the house, practicing my balance, practicing simple things that are not so simple for me at this age. Like picking one foot up and putting my pants on even, I have to lean up against something because I fall over. So practicing that balance with 3-pound skates on has been really good. Or I go to the skate park and I skate around the flat parts because that's free. Or I go to the rink, spend the money and take my chances with small children weaving in and out. Hello, Dennis. I just still am our pork and asparagus. Who knew I'd like plants, right? Not so bad. Howdy, Earthling, says Aquatic News Network. If I missed anybody, give me a shout. I hope I didn't miss anybody. For most of my life, if it had a face, I don't eat it. Oh, I eat things with faces all the time. Dr. Ted in the house. My favorite Dr. Ted in the house. What's going on? I don't know if you heard my tub story. I was blown away, Ted. Blown away that my tub could totally drain. 150-gallon tub, totally drain, just because a piece of a mesh tarp was sitting in it and it wicked it right out. Tommy Guns. Q. Dragon Lair, sure wish you had been with the 6 of us. I wish I was there too in Atlanta. That's a far, far away. Everyone's saying hi to Dr. Ted. I got caught up in my story. But I did. Joel? Yeah. I just can't believe it wicked it all out. And because of the way the pump was, there was like an inch on the bottom. It was still pumping that inch water on the very bottom to the waterfall. So I still heard the waterfall, but there was no water in it anymore. I'm just glad it happened now, except for the fact that I have all that amazing pre-seeded water that have been sitting there throughout the winter, gaining rainwater, duck water, like all this water in there. Now I have to fill it up with faucet water, city water. It's going to be, I would not put fish in it for a while because our that's city water, what do you call it? Tide water, Morrisville water. I don't even know if it's actually potable. I don't. But we're a ways away because it is so dang cold outside. I can't even bring my tortoises out. On another note, upstairs, it will come. Did you find the king snake, Bob? Did you find a snake? Do you have a snake missing? Eat. Do you have a snake missing? You have to put out some of your mice. That'll bring them around. So upstairs in my whatnot tank, that's what I have a better word for it. It's like a 20-gallon tank in the kitchen. That, my one friend says, oh my gosh, I got this tetra, but he's mean. Can you take him? I'm like, yeah, give him to me. Like, and he goes in this tank, and it was one of those glowfish tetras. And then somebody else, like a couple years later, had a pink one. So now I got a pink and a green of those same kind of tetras. And then I have my rainbow. The ones I got from Kenny, guys. We got them at the Clash 3 years ago. I got a 6-pack of them. Rainbow sliders. I knew it. Shiners. Rainbow sliders. Sounds like something you eat. My rainbow shiners. There's 2 in there. I got a mismatched, like 2 albino cory cats somebody gave me. They came along with this tank. This tank with the fire eel, and I'm like, I don't want these little tiny, I just don't want them in this tank. So they went up there, and I'm looking at these fish. I'm like, one looks like a blue Kerry tetra. I did have a tank on the other side of the kitchen for years that had 6 blue Kerry tetras I made my biotope out of. I thought they all gone. But when I moved plants over, there might have been one there because where else would I get a beautiful, it's like almost glow in the dark, beautiful blue Kerry tetra. And there's another name for it. I can't think of what the name is, but that's what I call it. Oh, keep a mouse out. I can't tolerate spicy hot ever. What did Bob Kaler say? Just declare. You think that will work, Ted? I'll try, but it didn't work in my fish room. No, but I know where he is. The back seat's on my... Oh, Sierra Stationary. Okay, so you know where the snake is. Yeah, this water here, I'll try it. I do dechlorinate everything. I use safe. Where's my safe? I've switched over now that I finished the large jar of safe I had since the beginning of doing the fish room. Did it just not get foggy? Oh no, it's foggy again. It has something to do with my hands and the lighting. And so now I'm just buying small bottles of safe because that one lasted years. It probably expired. That could have been the problem. But now I have a good one that I use for everything. But I pay very close attention to when they're flushing the systems. Elfish tanks. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. But I'll start to fill that water slowly. I'm just so upset that I lost all that water. My water bill is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's not as bad as my electric bill. that is like $600 a month, plus the $200 a month that they tack on because it's the old bill I could never pay when it was $600 a month. So it's ridiculous, ridiculous. And my water bill now is back to normal. There was 2 months that it was, or 2 periods, because they sent it every quarter, that was like $800. I'm like, my water bill should be like $150. I know what I use water and what I don't, but the water company will sit there with you, go day by day. On this day, you use this much. And I remember one morning, my hose was left on. Remember when I left my hose on and my terrapin tank? Thank God my terrapin got out, but all the little goldfish died. That cost me hundreds of dollars. Hundreds. Use Ultimate Best and Most Patented Full Function Water Conditioner by Aquascience Group, marketed here by Hikari. Oh, I'll have to check that out. I'll check that one out. That would be good. That would be good. And my 20-gallon that has my zebra danios, there's no danios in it anymore. Now I gotta admit, well, there was only in there for 4 years. 4 years. That this tank is in my Chinese water dragon enclosure. I was not under the impression that the Chinese water dragon, who's about this big, not counting tail, he's probably about 18 inches. He doesn't eat the fish. I've had the same danios in there for years. But I'm thinking something happened and he just ate them because there's no trace of them. I thought that was odd. That happened this week too. I'm like, so I don't think I'm going to put fish in there unless I breed a whole lot of white cloud mountain minnows that I bred and I know that they're healthy. Siphon some water from the Delaware Canal. Yikes! I don't think you're allowed to do that. Are you, Bob? I don't even think you're allowed to go in there and grab the plants out of that canal. So, if the Delaware River, where I live, it's a tidal river, got high tide, low tide, does that mean that water's brackish? Or is it only brackish, like right at the place where the ocean meets river and like within a mile of that? Like, how far does brackish go before it's not brackish? Because I want to know. Not that I'm going to take them, although people are fishing there all the time. And I asked them, they say, yeah, we eat this fish all the time. I said, okay. So I am definitely not siphoning any water from the canal or the river. Although I would like some of their floating plants. Wonder if they die from old age. Maybe, but Daniels don't they live longer than 5 years? I've had, oh, maybe not. I thought I had like half a dozen from my original tank. I just know they're like one of my favorite go-to fish. Daniel, hello. Hello, Daniel. Yeah, so we got a lot of things going on. Trying to get organized to bring things out to the pond and to get the outside ready. And I wanted to plant or try to plant grass seed. So if anybody has any ideas of how I can plant grass seed so that the birds and the tortoises and or chickens, the chickens are only out when I'm there, but it's the first thing they do is pick up the seeds and worms or whatever they can get. How can I grow grass seed? How can I grow grass? Remember I did the sod one year. Back breaking. I plant, and then it was the hottest summer we ever had. I think it was 4 years ago. And it all ended up dying. I was like, now I have this horrible mesh underneath, like 3 inches down underneath my, because that's how they hold it together. So, or if anybody knows of any kind of seed that they would trust growing the grass, knowing that half my animals probably eat. And I don't mind they eat them. I just want to start growing. It's all one big mud fest over there. Look at this beauty. Look at this beauty. Can you see him in there? Come here. You are beautiful. No matter what they say. There's my knife fish down there with 2 rope fish. Oh, I do like this tank. I wish I could sit like this so you guys could watch this tank. But my endlers will not allow that. And trumpet snails. Endlers, and I see I got trumpet snails. So many endlers. My goodness, I got so many endlers in this tank. I just wiggled my fingers and they came out from the mass of the green. And lots of babies. Oh, and lots of pregnant mamas. And they're all still true to color. Yellow and black striped. I call them bumblebee endlers. I love this tank. I do. Still no activity back there. I think I'm ready for some spring cleaning. I'll spend a couple weekends down here and really do some spring cleaning. That will help my happy place. So I have my happy place to sit in. But yeah, I will think twice. You know, and I think the only difference I would make as a juror, answer question different, and it's honest. They ask this question, like, because they ask so many questions. Does anybody this? And you stand up with your jury number. And out of 52, they dwindle you down to 12. And there was one question, does your religion prohibit you from judging people? And I didn't stand up for that because I'm an Episcopalian. I didn't think it was a religious thing. But I don't judge people. It's not my thing. Like, I work very hard at not judging people. Judge them enough whether I want them in my life, but that's only judging because I don't want them near me. Doesn't mean they go, you be you. You do you, boo, over there. I'll do me over here. And we're all good. But that was the hardest part. I'm blubbering. Wonder if they just died from old age. Yeah, Dragon Lair, that's very, very possible. Why did the chicken cross the road? Bob Kaler says, why did the chicken cross the road? Because! Because! That's my answer, and I'm sticking to it. Ted says, I've recommended Ultimate to several hobbyists with tough water where Prime and others do you have. My Prime is not working here. Oh, good. All right, I'm going to try it. I'm no Hydra. Why, do some of those other ones have Hydra in it? What? Per the Google, AI says brackish conditions extends up into the river several miles. Ow! It's so funny. Well, first of all, I never knew there was such thing as a tidal river. I must have been sleeping in class when they taught us that. And I'm from, like, where I come from is like the Susquehanna River. I don't think it had tides. And now that I live next to the Delaware River, and now that I'm aware of it, I clearly see the high tide and low tide over at the river underneath the Trenton Makes Bridge. You can, Zoe and I walked halfway across the river on low tide. Very carefully because we knew the rocks could be slippery. And then the next, when it came back in, it was like, so high tide. But it dawned on me, like, everybody's catching freshwater fish here. And if it's a tidal, so thank you for that. Well, thank you, Google. I'm in love with Mitchell's Turkish fish. I definitely need to get some of those. Oh, cool. That's a metaphysical question. Yes. Look up the Doxy, the Tub Pond Handbook, guys. If you're doing backyard, look it up. Get that book. It is one of the best books. It's been my outside tub Bible so to speak, since I started doing outside tubs. Absolutely. You need like rack for that question. Yeah, rack is good with that, huh? Grass seed in spring is tough because of the birds. Now I sodded one year and it broke my back and it all died anyway. Cover grass seed with straw. Oh. The birds won't eat them. Contact your country co-op extension office for the best. Oh, okay. I gotta write that down. I don't even know my county has a co-op extension. Brackish water is a mixture of fresh. Yep, that's what my mud skippers are in. My mud skipper tank is in brackish water. Saltwater intrusion from the ocean can travel. How is that an intrusion? Which was there first, the river or the ocean? Or is that a philosophical question? To put it bluntly, we're all effed up. We got no, thank you, Aquatic News Network. So true, so true. I have one for that chicken joke. I love my answer because chickens know when there's a worm wiggling under the dirt. I have no doubt. I've seen my chickens catch the tiniest bugs from the craziest places. It's like, wow. Judge me, Whip. Judge me. Judge me. Judge me. Every time my stickers chickens see me, they say, because. Right. I'm not going to say that, Dragon Lair. The Hudson is a title to Albany. Ah. I learned it going to, Zoe and I went on a field trip to the Pennsbury Manor, where William Penn, it's like a little museum, and they talked about how they traveled down to Philly, and coming back they had to wait for the high tide. And I'm like, this is a river. They said, yeah, but it's a tidal river. Well, and I was like, I'm looking around the room, like I was probably the oldest person in the room because there was a lot of young kids with their parents, and I'm like, Grandma here never knew anything about a tidal river. I felt so ignorant. But now that's all I can talk about because I was so fascinated by it. And now I'm wondering, is that where the diamondback terrapins live? Where does this Delaware River meet the ocean? It's got to be down in New Jersey. Where else would it? Duh. Duh. I have to look up on a map. I know the Delaware River goes all the way up right in between Pennsylvania and New Jersey, and then it splits off and it keeps going higher. That's where it comes from. Oh, que interesante. Woo! Well, I don't... Thank you, guys. I am going to try not to talk about... Oh, look at this beautiful knife fish just floating up there. You see him? What a beauty with the beautiful little white spot on his tail. Oh. He only comes out at night, though. Only comes out at night. I was surprised this eel came out and said hi to me while I'm sitting right here. That's pretty cool. Yes, diamondbacks are brackish water species. Even though mine is now adopted to freshwater, when I got him as a baby, the breeder, both parents were freshwater, and I don't know. I had pictures of him and everything because when I first started, and there's only a few turtles that I bought. Most of them were rehomed to me, as I wanted to make sure it wasn't caught from the wild. I wanted to make sure it was born in captivity, and so I knew the parents of both. The breeder had the parents there, not in there because they are at home breeding, but they were both freshwater. So my turtle never experienced brackish water. With coastal river, Yoda. Coastal river. What is that? Okay, that was a whip question. I'll have to go back and look. I judge the hell out of you. I can't go back and look. They can live fine in freshwater, but naturally live in brackish. Right. Right. So yeah, that's the only one I have. I can't wait to get him outside. Cannot wait to go outside. I don't know why I bring him in. Probably because his enclosure is only 8 foot by 8 foot. He only has like 1.5 foot of earth all around the pond. And I don't know, does he sleep in the pond? Does he go on the ground like a box turtle? I don't know. But I didn't think 200 gallons was enough. I thought it'd be too small for him. Like, I keep my sliders out in my pond. They stay out there. They came out already. I used to fish the St. Johns River below Jackson Current. Could not. Pretty strong back in the... Oh. Yeah, it's a strong current. But when it's low tide, it's so deceiving. And I don't know where it gets deep. So Zoe and I were very careful. Very careful. And because we didn't know a whole lot, we were exploring how far could we go. Because, we like to push it to the edge. I'm looking right now. I don't see a link to Tennessee Fish Fam. I'm going to see... Oh, yep. Tennessee Fish Fam. I'm going to go grab a cup of coffee and head on over to Taylor's Reptiles and Aquatics, where Tennessee Fish Fam meet. We'll guarantee you we'll talk a lot. They brumate underwater. Even if it's only 200 gallons in this part. See, I kept thinking that tub was too small. But the waterfall has run all year, so it didn't freeze up. So, except for those 2 weeks. Yeah, I don't know. I bring him in. I torture the poor guy and bring him inside every winter. But we'll see. But hopefully, if you want to talk more about fish, come on over to the Tennessee Fish Fam over at Taylor's Reptiles. There should be a link right there. Oh, I got to push it to the limit. Yeah, one more time. I'll let my daughter sing instead of me. So much better. So much better. Whew.
Hey everybody, it's Susie Q and I'm here to show you just what I do. I have a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q and I'm here to show you just what I do. I got a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q and I'm here to show you just what I do. I have a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q. Nah, hey everybody, it's Susie Q, so come along with me. Said